All right, how's it going, everybody? Just reporting back. This is in regards to my watch list for this following week of April 4th, 2016, up to April 8th, 2016, right? So, as I was discussing in my previous live stream yesterday, I was talking about the new update that I'll give you guys. So, what my new update is pretty much I've made a, I made a spreadsheet available through Google Docs. Pretty much, you'll be able to view my watch list live. So I have two different spreadsheets. One spreadsheet will be my actual watch list, which will contain the tickers that I'm actually looking at presently. So I'm going to share that with you guys on the screen share. So pretty much this particular spreadsheet here. Let me just pull it up. All right, so this is the first watch list. So this watch list will be available to you guys at any time. You guys, while I change or add or remove tickers, if you're on the link, okay, so the link is here. So make sure you guys write this link down here, okay? If you guys, actually, I can't. Let me see. Give me one moment. Let me just stop screen sharing first for 1 minute. Okay, so this is going to be the watch list for you guys. So I'm going to give you guys a link. Either you can shoot me an email at bouadvisors@gmail.com and I'll email you the link. Obviously, you guys can't edit it, all right? So it's only going to be viewable. So with this link, you can view my watch list at any time. So if you guys can get in contact with me in my chat room, or you guys don't have me on the text and you're just curious as to see what tickers, what companies I'm looking at for the week, you can just click on the link and you'll see my live feed on my watch list. Obviously, all the numbers will be live real time. And then I'm going to have another spreadsheet for my entries and exits. So let me just give me 1 second. Okay, so that's the link to my live watch list. So let me just move this over here. Okay, so this is my entry. So let me just the whole purpose of this stream is to explain what it is. So once you click on the live entry and exit link, it will bring you up to this at any time, and you will see what positions I'm in and the entries and exits I'm looking for. So let's say LGND. I might post a target entry that I'm looking to get in, whether it's a long or a short. So you'll see it over here. So if I'm going, for example, let's say I'm going to go short and I want to go short at LGND at around, let's say 114 or 113, right? I'm going to place a short target entry at 113. The stock might be at 112, right? 112.50. I'm not going to enter the stock unless my short target entry is at the right moment. So if you hover over here, it'll show you or give you a reminder that, and I'll say I meant to put these. Let me just edit that. These are entries I would not recommend entering. I don't know what was wrong with my spelling. Recommend entering before or after. So what this means is do not, I wouldn't recommend if, let's say LGND, my target short entry was at 113 and it's sitting at 112 and you don't have patience, then you shouldn't enter the stock, right? The whole point of having target entries is to develop patience for a trader, right? If my target entry is not hit, I'm not going to jump on it. So I'm not going to jump on a ticker, whether it's short or long, unless my target entry is there. So if you're like, all right, so well, I wonder what Jib is going to short LGND at, and I'll have my target entry at 113. I'll have my stop loss. So let's say my stop loss will be at like 111, right? And then if the short opportunity isn't there, I'm not gonna. That doesn't stop me from trading it, because then there might be a long target entry, right? So the long target entry would be, I would go long around 114. I'd say I'd go long if it hits 114. We're gonna go long, and I'll have a stop loss of 113. So if it's trading at 114, I jump in, but then it goes back down to 113. That's going to be my stop loss. But for you as a trader, you'll see my exact entry here. Okay. So actually, let me just change this. Right. So you'll have my actual entry. So for example, PTLA, I'm still long on PTLA, my actual entry. So you see here, my short entry was 1980 target. My long entry was $20, right? So it triggered $20, and I said as long as it doesn't fall below 1990, it's a good long. So I got in at $20 still. This is a swing. My actual entry was $20. The number of shares, I have 320 shares, and I did not fill my actual exit because I'm still holding. Currently, right now, PTLA is over $21, so I'm up over 320 on the particular stock. So for here, ADBE is Adobe. My short entry was around 97.95. I say go long at 98. Okay. My stop loss was 97.50. So my actual entry is at 95.16. Okay. And that's actually short. And how are you going to know if I'm short or long? That's by the positive sign and negative sign. So negative sign always means short. Positive sign always means long. All right. So my actual entry is 95.16. I'm still holding. So if you hover your mouse over these, it'll show still holding or I sold, or it always will get updated. I'm long 100 shares of UWTI at 1885. That's just a scaling lot, okay? With ETFs, I don't recommend you guys really following me, especially with ETFs. Why? Because I tend to hedge my I tend to hedge my UWTI positions overnight. So when you guys can't trade, I'm actually trading crude futures. So when I trade crude futures, so let's say UWTI is gonna gap down tomorrow morning, okay, because oil is down. But guess what? I'm actually still trading oil because I'm short via futures. So I'm hedging my positions. So when it comes to UWTI or any other ETFs, try to steer away from taking those in. All right. So just try to follow the actual stock tickers. And I will give you my actual exit, and I'll give you the date. Okay, I'll update the date that I hopped in. I know I hopped in on ADB. Yes, what was it? Yesterday, right? So not yesterday, 2 days. 2 days ago. So WTI, same thing. Right. So I'm still working on my entries and exits for these. So I just wanted to show you guys basically the entry and exit. So you guys can view this at any time. This is going to be public. All right. Now my watch list is going to look at something like this. This is my watch list. All right. And I tried to get it as complex for you guys. Don't follow too much noise on this, but I tried to get it as accurate as possible. So these are all of the tickers that are on my watch list. Okay. So as the days progress in the week, I will eliminate some, I will add some. So this is the whole purpose. So you guys can actually check up on it daily and see what I removed and what I added. And you guys can check it out yourself. So as you see, most of this watch list is kind of green. And I'm going to see what's going on. Obviously, I'm going to chart every single one. And then if I like what I see, then you're going to see it on this chart here. And you'll see what my entry targets are, whether it's going to be a short or a long. Any questions if you guys don't understand the watch list or the entry and exit list, just email me at bouadvisors@gmail.com. This is pretty much the bet on the bear market at gmail.com. That is another account of mine, so you guys could email that. I tend to not check it frequently, so that's why I try to maneuver you guys and lead you guys to emailing me at bouadvisors@gmail.com. All right. So now we're gonna move on. So let's do it like this. And if you guys have any questions, feel free. You guys can ask questions here. And now let's talk about crude oil. Okay, crude oil is pretty much what I said was going to happen. Is happening. I just kind of called it at the wrong time, but I knew it was going to happen. I said it in the chat room. I said it on my live streams. It's nothing new. So crude oil. I always talk about crude oil. So crude oil is at 36.39 right now. And I said it is going to continue to go down, but I'm not completely bearish, okay, on crude oil. I'm bearish, I mean, over the long run, but to start a good, healthy short position now, I think is a little too early, right? And I say that because I'm basing my assumption, okay, because it is an assumption. I'm basing my assumption on previous and historical price action year to date. So for every year, this is a peak season for oil because of the demand. Okay, you got more drivers out on the road. You have more demand for oil. That does not change the fact that we have so much oil right now that we don't know where to store it. That's the problem. The fundamental aspect of crude is very negative, and that's why I say it's a short. Do I want to start? And what I mean by long, short, healthy entry, I mean that as a swing. Okay, I mean that as a swing. I mean hopping in on DWTI and riding it out with no worries. I don't think the time is right now. Okay, so you guys could try to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be placing a big short on crude oil when the time is right, and I feel like the time possibly could be anywhere from May to June. Okay, because think about it. And I'll for those that haven't been following crude oil, I'll explain what happened. So crude oil hit a low of $26. Technically, it double bottomed. Okay, and so we double bottomed, and then we continued to go up. A lot of people started covering their short bets on crude oil, so that's why you see the run up that occurred. Okay, and this is all short covering and speculation. That's really all it is. And right now, on what a couple of days ago, I told a buddy of mine, Rig, the one that was live with us yesterday, I told him I do not want to go long until this. My opinion, okay, is that this is going to be a hard support. Okay, we kind of bounced off over here, then we bounced off again. We retested it for the third time and bounced right back off. This was a nasty uptrend, right? So obviously this is just a consolidation, I would say, okay, because again, this was a wild run up. So going down was just, it was a no-brainer. Okay. Now I said I would like to take a long now. I would like to take a long position on crude now. So that's why if you look back on my entries, you see I'm long UWTI. UWTI is a day trading tool. It's not really for a hold. Okay, so what I did was I only got in with 100 shares. All right, 100 shares is nothing. Right, at 1885. Tomorrow, obviously, there's going to be a gap down, but I'm not too worried because with only 100 shares, I'm only getting my feet wet. Okay, trying to get the feel of oil, and then I'll go fully positioned and ride the long. As I told Rig, I told him, and I told a couple of other people, I said, I'm not ready to go long on crude, okay, until around here. This going long on crude anywhere here, around this area, I said you're buying at the top, if you guys remember, and I said that's not very smart. I said wait for a very nice pullback and buy. All right. I had a long call on crude. I had a long target at around 36.05, and we made a low of 36.19 today overnight. Okay, so I was a couple of pennies shy away from my long, but I will definitely be going long crude oil tomorrow, so long as this holds. Okay, so long as this holds, we'll be fine for a long. I truly believe so. So what I'm gonna do is gonna go long on crude. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a trend line entry on this, meaning that I'm not going to go long tomorrow unless 37 is broken. If 37 is broken around 37.20, I'll go long, or I'll go long in this area. So when crude oil is sitting around 36, let's say 36.50, anywhere from 36.50 to 37, let's say 37.40, I'm not going to play around with crude. That's speculation. All right. So getting long on crude anywhere over here tomorrow, you're speculating, you're taking a guess, because there's no indicator, there's no technical that's going to really show you or give you any signification that you should be going long here. So I don't care what any trader really says. Going long here, you're taking a speculation, right? An honest reason to place a trade on crude oil tomorrow would either be a break here, because if it breaks 36, we're going all short. There's no reason why not to short it. Okay, if it breaks 36, and if it breaks 37.50 tomorrow, that's gonna be a breakout. That means we broke the trend line downtrend from the high, and we're making our way up. Right? Do I think that we're gonna see 40s again? I think so. Now let's look at the news. So the news says, so this is what pisses me off, and to show you guys the manipulation, right, is that the Saudis, right? Saudi Arabia says that we're not going to cut production unless Iran cuts production, right? What I said is that, well, let's just think smart and think as a business person, right? So Iran was just, they just lifted their ban. Obama lifted a 40-year-old ban that banned Iran from being able to sell their oil, okay? Iran's main resource is oil. So for 40 years, they couldn't sell their oil. They just finally got back in the game, and now they're starting to sell oil. Now, we already have high production. We already have high build and a glut in oil. To add on top of that, we have Iran producing oil and selling oil now on the street, right? So if you were Iran and you've been banned for 40 years, would you consider taking a production cut? And I just don't see Iran saying or agreeing to this. They don't really care about the economy. They don't really care about the oil price. They care about making money that they've lost for 40 years back into their country, right? Right now, all they see is money, and I don't blame them. You can't blame them for that. They've been banned for 40 years, and now they're finally able to sell their oil. Why should we expect them to take a production cut? They didn't care about Iran for 40 years when it came to oil. Now, why should Iran care about the other countries? Saudis know what the game is. Saudis, I truly believe, already know what they're going to do, right? You have oil at $40. So I said, if oil is at $40 when it was here, I said there is no need for a meeting anymore. The meeting was scheduled when oil was sitting around $29. Just off the news, it brought crude oil from $29 to $40, $41. At this point, at $40, they don't need a meeting, and they don't need to stop production, right? And that's exactly what happened. So now Saudis came out on the news and said, well, it doesn't look like Iran is going to agree. So if they don't agree, well, we're going to take that as a benefit, and we're not going to cut production, and we'll continue to ramp up production. So now Iran is trying to ramp up production twice as much, right? So which is going to completely destroy oil prices, right? So we have oil at near high. So now the demand is still there. We have low rig counts. Rig counts has been decreasing, but the production has been increasing, right? So basically, you have the actual gasoline up as well. So gasoline prices is up as well, which is affecting crude oil prices, right, on the reports. So to make a long story short, I think that it's right now we're in the middle here. If you're gonna place a big short, I would short below 36, go long at 36. You're gonna play this trend line, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play this trend line, but I'm not playing with anywhere from 36.50, 36.30, this mark here and here. So I'll draw an arrow just for those that don't get it, right? Anywhere from here and anywhere from here. So long as oil is at these prices, I'm not playing with it. I'm not touching oil, right? Again, below 36 is short because obviously this is a support. It kept bouncing off here at these prices, right? You see here, this is an obvious support, right? It can't get any clearer than that. So if we break that, the next support is going to be around here. It's going to be around 34.64, right? And then we're going to just keep going on levels, right? So I don't think this is going to be a straight narrow down. It could be. So like I said, 36, below 36 is short. Target entry would be around 34. And then we would go long again. So either go long here at 36 or go long at 34.50. We're going to play it like that, short in between here. We're going to stay short around here, right? Or we're going to go long above this trend line break. And I'm going to leave this trend line just like this, and then we'll come back to see how the trend line works. So my guess is that anything below a break above this, we're going to go long. We're going to look at my indicator here. right? And it's oversold at this point. Stochastics is telling me to buy. Okay, I bought this. If you guys follow my Instagram, I posted it when I went long crude future oil, long futures. I bought in here around 37.80, sold on top over here. I did that based on my stochastics. Right now, my stochastics is telling me that we're pretty much at the bottom, and this is perfect. Right, this is the type of plays I look for. My stochastic is all the way down. It's at the bottom. You can't get any worse than this. And we're nearing support. So we're going to see a bounce off here. We're going to see a bounce off here, and we should see above 37 soon. And you know, we have an oil report on Tuesday, and then we have rig counts following that. All right, so that should bring us up above there. So that's the level. So I'm going to leave this trend line, right, just for, let's say, training purposes, right? And we'll follow up, and then, you know, my next live stream, I'll pull up the same chart, same trend line, and see what exactly happened. So basically with oil, okay, today is 4/3/16. Do not go long anywhere between 36. Well, do not even trade. And that's the game plan really for oil. All right. And why I say don't play this area, this is just to minimize losses. This is a speculation trade if you trade anywhere here, because again, you don't really have any type of reasoning to go long. But then again, you know, your RSI is at the bottom, so this is a nice play here. So we'll be watching oil very closely tomorrow. I will be buying some long crude oil futures here at this price. All right, so now let me see if you guys have any questions. Nobody has any questions thus far. Perfect. So that's the oil. That's the game plan for oil. Hopefully we make some money off oil. I can't wait. Now to get back on my watch list, right? So we have Cara, which was on our watch list. This is the watch list I made yesterday with Rig. So let me pull up. Well, I already pulled it up, so you can see it from the last feed. So Cara, he said to go long around 640. Your stop loss is going to be 620, so you can go around. So now let's say it's at 620, right? So let's say, well, all right, Jib, the price is at 620. All right, so if you get in at 620, that's fine, but your stop loss should be at 620. So remember, if you guys, I said we're not going to play any longs around here, right? So anything under 620, we're not playing along. We're not going to guess here. The only way we'll go long is around these prices here. Our target exit is around 725. I'm not going to short it. So I'm not shorting this. I could, but just I have other shorts in progress, so I don't need to short that. Nugget is currently down. I'm sorry, gold is currently down, which is perfect. I did say that we should get the 58 mark tomorrow on Nugget. All right, so we have gold sitting at 218. That's perfect. Right, so let's pull up the gold chart. And this is exactly what me and Rick talked about yesterday on our live stream when I had him live with us. I said that this is a nice support here, okay? very nice support around here. And since I missed my entry here on last trading day, hopefully I can get in long around here. If this breaks here, I'm not gonna try to go long until around over here, 212. Anything between is speculation again. That's the whole point. The way I trade, where I try to minimize losses, is by being faithful and religious to my entries and not being impatient, right? Try to have patience. So if we break here, I'm not going to be trading gold from 218 to 212. 212, I'll take a nice long here. I don't think we should break below that. Anything below that is kind of going to be ugly, okay? So Nugget tomorrow, I'll try to get in long at around $58. My price target would be selling around $63. My stop loss will be very tight at $57.99. If it goes back to this price, I'll buy back in. But I love to keep my stop loss tight on these, right? So LGND, I'm short 113. So I'll just let me just update this on the spreadsheet. Well, I'll do that lastly. All right. So let's look at my watch list and chart something else, right? So ANF, I really want to short this. So I covered for like 30 or 40 cents, right? I'm gonna re-enter ANF short. It was a nice channel. It's playing like a $50 or $60. I'm sorry, it's playing like a 50-cent, 60-cent channel. So let's pull it up real quick. And it's pissing me off because it's playing such a tight channel, and that's why I lost patience, and I just covered for a minimal profit. Nothing serious. So change the chart. Okay. So this is why I want to short it here. This trend line from here, again, you guys can trade. There's different ways to drawing trend lines, right? So you'll always hear, oh, this guy draws his trend lines a little weird. This is the type of trend lines that work for me, okay? Reason why I drew this trend line is because this right here, exactly, these candles here are intact and always bounce off the trend line. And you see here, these candles are below the trend line. The break above this trend line, so if we would have, at this day here, let's say 229, okay, February 29th, I would have said on my trend line right here, I would have said we're going to go long at 28.42. It only makes sense because this is a break of the trend line. So if we would have went long on the swing, right, from 28, we would have been able to sell around 32. That would have been a great swing. Now we're going sideways. So this is a sideways channel. Again, we could go higher. We can go lower, right? So this is a cup. I would say this is a cup, right? And that's exactly what's forming, is a cup. So this is good. This is the channel that it's been playing. Give me one moment. All right, so it's been playing the channel of about $1, $2, let's say, right? So let's pull up the MACD. I'm sorry, the RSI. All right, so this is my favorite indicator, and we're in the middle. So I wouldn't take a stab at it just yet because we're in the middle. So we can either go up or go down. It looks like it's curling up toward, for the upside right here. If we zoom in on the RSI. So I said ultimately the first go around was 31.7 31.75, I said I want to go short at 31.75. So long as it stays below this trend line, I'm going to go short. And my first price target would be around 30.50. I'm sorry, 30.60. Right? So on my and then obviously above 32.50, we're going to go long. So short entry anywhere from 32 to 31.75. Our stop loss would be around 32.50, and our long entry, if it continues to ramp up, we're going to go long around 32.50. Our stop loss would be 32. I would say 32.10, right? Very simple. But ultimately, it's going to have to break the channel here. It's going to eventually it will. It's not going to just go sideways forever. And if it touches around here, obviously I'll keep updating you guys. We'll go long around 30.50 and just play this channel until it breaks. Okay, so So 1690 on the short right here. Anywhere from 16, what did I say? 1690 on X and 1650. Stop loss above 17, obviously. I'm not going to go long. ONG 113. Cut it short. LGND at 113. Stop loss is around 114.50. Long above 115. Stop loss at 114.50. Right? We're going to catch it either way. Okay. MMM. So this is another ticker that's been going sideways, and I think it's just waiting for the market, overall market, to make a move. But ultimately, we're going to be shorting MM again. This is 3M company. And this is exactly how I chart out before the week starts. Pull up the 4-hour. Let's pull up a long chart here. Right? So when you pull up the long charts like this, you can see the actual levels. And obviously, it's always had a hard time playing this level here. Always. Okay, so the same are the stochastics here was high, very high at this area, went back down. My stochastics is telling me that it is very high, right? So expect a nice healthy pullback to around 159. That is my target here, okay? And I'm telling you guys here live, I'm not going to doubt that it's going to continue to go up. I'm not going to doubt that it's going to plunge. I'm not here for that. But what I'm here for is to say that it is going to pull back before it goes back up. All right, it's stopping. It tries to continue and it stops. Right, it plays a $3 candle right here, $4 candle, and we're back up at the highs. So obviously we would go long above. I would go long above this candle, this wick, right? And I'll explain why in a second. So above that purple arrow, I would go long because it's never seen something like it's never seen that high, never got that high. So above that, that arrow is blue skies ahead. There's no resistance until it forms a resistance, right? And then obviously this trend line would become support. But until then, we're going to go short. So I am going to go short again tomorrow on 3M. I'm going to go light again because I'm going to open various positions and close out my PTLA position. And I will close out my API position. And I'm going to initiate new shorts. All right. So let's go to, where is it? All right, so 167 to 169 is my target entry for short. Stop loss is above 171. Long is above 171. Stop loss at 169. Very simple stuff, right? So I'll be playing MM tomorrow. Let me just pull up the Cara chart one more time. By the way, our futures is up right now. Current market futures are up. I can't believe the Dow's at almost 18,000. To me, that is insane. All eyes on the US dollar as well. All right, so Cara. Again, when Rig was on the air, he's very bullish on Cara. I kind of am too. I was saying that I regretted not going long around $4 or $5. It was such an easy long right here. So let's look at the daily. So the daily is, I'm going to draw a trend line from here. And 565. You see, this is why I play the trend line by the way. So you draw a trend line all the way from the top, and you draw it all the way in accordance to the last high candle at the end, which was this. Right? You make them touch just like this, and we would have just sat back. And we would have said to ourselves, okay, we're not going to play it around here, but once this trend line, the candles break this trend line, we're going to try long. And if you would have went long at around 574, you would have been able to sell at 647. You see how the trend line is holding. It dipped back to my trend line, and then it continued to go up. We're currently at a double top here, and we have filled the gap. Okay, wick to wick is touched. We're pretty much, we're waiting for an entry here. So I would go long at anywhere around, this one's going to be a little tricky because it moves very volatile. So personally, for me, okay, for Cara, I would go, again, we're not shorting. Not interested in shorting this. Okay, so long is going to be around $6 to $6.40. Anywhere in that area, we're going to go long. Our stop loss is going to be set at 590. Okay, if you get in at 640, your minimal shares, your stop loss should be at around 610. Okay, I'm basing the 590 stop loss because I'm trying to get in at around 620, 630. Okay, and then I'll post my actual entry here, the date, and how many shares I got in, and my actual exits tomorrow and the date, right? So let me close out of this. Okay, so OHRP, I alerted in my chat room. I think somebody else in my chat room, Camilo, got in with me. OHRP, I alerted at 270. It was $2.70. The next day, it gapped up to FDA approval. It was quite the ride. Sold at 36.61. I alerted in the chat room. And then obviously this was the next day following. Okay. I'm kind of still bullish on it. I'm waiting for another entry. Right. So let's draw the trend line again, the daily, from the daily, right? And so let's say on 3.9, we would have drew the trend line. It would have been the same exact trend line. We would have said, we're not going to play this until it breaks, right? So this is the downward trend line, and it broke. It gapped up all the way to 36.63, and this is exactly why I sold right here. I sold because, look at the levels. Again, price target levels. This is the price target I had right here. I sold a little under it, okay, because it moved very quick. But here, yep, and this was around, I want to say like around 9:45 a.m. is exactly when I sold this, and we went up. So pretty much we held the price. We're holding the price here, and that's why I'm still bullish on OHRP, because if you look here, this would have been our resistance, right? I'm sorry, support, and we're holding pretty good here, and we closed pretty high. Now, if we break around 373, 375, nothing is stopping it until 422. Okay, that's a good run up. That's a good swing. So ultimately, we want to see what's going to happen here. So I would go long on OHRP. Watch it tomorrow. Watch it as long as it doesn't break, okay, the $3 mark. I don't want to buy it under 3. If it gets anywhere from 3, like let's say we get a 310 or 305, I'll buy it, but I'm not going to play with it below. The reason why I said go long at 270, by the way, right, in my chat room, this is for you guys to see. This is all transparent stuff. I didn't just guess it, right? Bam. You see that? So the wick here, the low was 270 for the day. It didn't break below that, and that's because, well, here we broke what? We went to 264, but quickly ran up. 270 was the bottom here at 9/29, September 29th, 2015. We went up from $2 all the way to $6, all right? And we're seeing this happen again here. So if you look at, let me explain to you guys. So put your glasses on real quick, right? I'm gonna draw this with a red line. Just so you guys can see what my rationale is. So the red line here, right? So from the bottom here, okay, this is the exact pattern. So let me see if I can draw this. You see this here? So from the bottom, we went up here, came back down, and then went sideways and then went right back up. Bam. This is the same identical pattern is forming. I don't know if you guys can notice that. See this? You see that? And then it went up right here. This is the same thing that's happening. Bam. So now it could get sold off to 283. That's why I'm gonna wait for it, right? So I would like to buy around $3, wait for it to hit 3, and then it should go back up. So hopefully we have some clear skies ahead of us. But the whole point here is you have to look at patterns, and this is exactly what's occurring. History repeats itself, and this is the same thing that it's forming. So now I'm just waiting for a nice pullback, healthy pullback, then I'll go up. So let me add OHRP. Definitely not interested in shorting. Long anywhere from $3 to 330. Okay. Stop loss is going to be around, say, 290. If I get in at $3, my stop loss will obviously be around 280. If I get in at 330, my stop loss will be in around 295. Okay. And I'll post my actual entry. Okay. All right. I'm not trading soon. I'm not liking what's going on. I don't like what I read in the news, so I'm not going to be trading it just yet. Let's see this. Wow, that's ugly. Okay, so it's printing a bearish flag. It's going down. Stochastic is all the way up. Be nice short around 43, 44. So this is the pole. This is the flag. Alrighty. All right, so I look at it from the daily, it's overbought. Could go up to 43, 45. But if I look at the 30-minute chart, let's see, say hi to Skrelly.
Direct links to the actual papers. They're basically these interpreted Panama Papers, which I didn't love.
This is my first time here. I'm gonna go now.
No, I just tweeted WrestleMania with my brother. That to me meant pay-per-view.
Hey, Skrelly,
Follow me on SoundCloud.
No, it's you, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
Hey guys, I'm a rapper on SoundCloud. Follow me, please. FreeMC2OG. FreeMC2OG on SoundCloud.
Hey, Skrelly, you never showed up at STK, bro.
I didn't know we made plans. Sorry.
I thought you were gonna go.
Oh yeah, I don't think we made plans.
What is that? Is that an import? Oh. Anyway, so let's see here. All right, so play this. 43. Okay. Are you sure it's not GMCR, Zach? Make sure it's not GMCR. I don't think you meant to say JMCR. All right, so pretty much we charted out oil, ANF, MMM, CARA, OHRP, SPSC, and ROVI. That's the one I wanted to do. So we're sitting exactly at support. Got a gap down here from 20 to 17. Let me see why. So ROVI tanks after suing Comcast for patent infringement. That makes no sense. Anyway, looking to go long on ROVI around 1720. My stop loss will be set at 17. So we're going to go long ROVI 1720 to 1740. Our stop loss set at 17. Not shorting. Oh man, I've been doing this wrong. 40. Long, short. Actually take DWTI out. Yeah. Come. All right, this will be my last one because I did a lot already. Obviously, you guys can keep checking the link, keep checking my watch list with the link provided. You guys can see this live and see my watch list live, and I'll update it day to day. Okay, MACD's curling for going up. Multiple bottom here around 1189. If we break this, we're going for a short. So we're looking at 1190 for a short. So 1185. Yeah. EI. OHIP. Here. Okay, Gene, yes, that's the one I wanted to. What the fuck? Okay, this is an index. This is their stock market. Okay, I'll tell you right now, I'm bullish on the Indonesian stock market. It's an emerging market. I don't know why you would want me to chart this out. I'm not sure if you're trying to put money in their market. But if you're looking for a long term, I would say yeah. But I mean, there's no reason for me to chart this out. This is like charting out the SPY or the Dow or the NASDAQ. But you see, 10 years all the way up, hit a double bottom. I would go long here. All right. It's a double bottom. Go long. So my guess here, overall, we're going to go up. Resistance in at 7,200. So if we break Kona at 1180, we're going to go place a short. Wanted to chart out Gene. Gene will be my last one. All right, so we're playing a sideways channel here. Zoom in. Every time we get here, we go down here, 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 and it's continue to go up here. So swing trader's dream right here. We're going up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Can we guess it's going to go down? MACD's ready to curl. Would be a buyer on Gene at $2, $2.10. I want you guys to really understand what a channel is. So this is a sideways channel. So literally you could have bought here, sold at the top here. You would have already knew by the time it bottomed out here and got up here, by the time this came down, you would have knew to buy it here, sell at the top right there, and short it again. So you would have made a overall, it went up 40 cents, came back down another 40 cents. So you would have made almost $1 round trip by going long and short right there. So I would go long above 241. So we're gonna go long at $2, $2.10, or above 241. Rovi's here. Right, and I think we're all set. So you guys could see this live on the links that I provided, and it's a live watch list as well. All right, thanks. Thanks for viewing. All right, see you guys later.